Hey guys, this is Lalana. Thanks for tuning in to the Sovereign Path. Today we're going to talk about stepping into your power, stepping into your light, stepping into the knowing and the remembrance that you are a wayshower. So one of the most important things that I think I preface that in almost every one of my videos. One of the most important things, there's so many, but really it just all comes down to one thing, it's all the simplicity of the one thing. And that is the remembrance, the recognition, or at least moving into that aha moment of having that, oh yeah, my soul, me as consciousness, experiencing this third dimensional reality is ready to awaken, right? So this is so important on this path, and I've been hitting this recently in my last few videos that I've been, publishing, is that what we need to really hold on to and have that just greater, larger awareness of is that if you're on this path, you're ready to awaken. Like, you've graduated to the next stage in your consciousness. Your consciousness is ready to awaken out of the third dimensional reality of separation, fear programming, and lack. This is a huge, yes moment. This is a huge, wow, I did it, I made it. I got to the place where I've been evolving, I've been ascending, I've been moving through these other lifetimes, I've been moving through these other timelines. I've been doing all of this stuff to come to this place now in this incarnation that I am ready to awaken, that I am ready to ascend. This is a celebratory kind of situation, right? And on this path, on the Twin Flame path, we're so focused on the romantic physical aspect of union with the twin that we are not seeing the grander picture, right? We're not seeing that grander, bigger picture, that the reason that we are being, triggered by the twin, all of these sort of things, separation, coming in and out, all of this sort of stuff, is to break us free from the 3D. That's the purpose. The purpose is to awaken you. It's to remember, oh yeah, this is what I came into this incarnation to do, right? A lot of twins sort of look at this path as it's just hell, it just sucks, it's just so painful, it hurts so bad, I keep going round and round and round in loops and hitting all these walls and hitting all these dead ends and, doing all this stuff and all these things. And mostly, for the most part, it's because we're still running an old program that's saying that romantic partnership is the end goal or the end game in any sort of dynamic that we have with a romantic interest, right? In this, i.e., the romantic interest being your twin flame, who is your own soul, who's reflecting back to you that it's time to break through all of those old paradigms. It's time to break out all of those old paradigms, because those old paradigms are what's making you feel like shit. It's not the twin that's making you feel like shit. It's the thoughts that are making you feel like shit. It's the ego mind, right? It's the emotional attachment to the twin. It's emotional attachment to all sorts of things, but in this specific path, to the twin. The emotional attachment and then the egoic attachment of the control mechanisms that's saying that if I don't have this, then, X, Y, and Z, and this has all gone to hell in a handbasket, and this path sucks, and why did I ever even, meet my twin, and I wish I wouldn't have, and I'd rather choose a soulmate, and all of these sort of things. And we go rolling off into, the land of everything opposite of what this twin flame path is, right? We're still going on into 3D world land, into 3D game playing land of it's all about romantic relationships and what the opposite sex or same sex is doing in regard to those partnerships, right? This is what awakening is here to shift you out of, right? This is what you came into the awareness of just man, I incarnated into this lifetime to awaken, to ascend. Sorry, that is my twin actually sawing down a tree. Didn't realize he's going to start doing that right now. So you guys can ignore that, hopefully. So we keep coming at this, and I keep feeling the need to create these videos that are more around breaking free from what is keeping us all so stuck on this path. And what's keeping us all so stuck on this path is that constant feeling that you have to be with the twin flame romantically, and you have to be with them physically, and all of these sort of things that are based on a third dimensional paradigm. The twin comes into the life to break you free from that paradigm. I'm doing my best to really bring through information that is hopefully assistant in the awareness of that this is your spiritual awakening, right? This is your ascension process, and that is your key out of all of that suffering. Physical romantic relationship is not the key out of the suffering that you feel. It's not the key out of the pain that you feel, the looping that you're going around and round, the obsessive thoughts that you keep having and feeling like that this path sucks and it's all hell, right? And we have this idea that as soon as we're back in romantic partnership, or if we're in romantic partnership, or even if we're in some sort of physical union with the twin, that's going to break us free from the pain that we feel. Not realizing, because we're still running the third dimensional programming, that the only thing that's going to break us free from the pain that we feel is the ascension process that the twin flame came in to elicit. That's what's going to break you free from this, not being in romantic partnership with them. Because you can be in romantic partnership with the twin and still be running these same programs. So you can still be in some sort of romantic interaction with the twin. We all do it, in and out, back and forth, hot and cold, off and on. But if we're still running those belief systems and those programs and those patterns that are based in separation and fear and lack, then it's still having that same effect of saying, this isn't exactly how I want this thing to play out, right? We're still in that place of saying, well, they're not really showing up in the way that I want them to show up, or this isn't really playing out the way that I was hoping that it was going to play out, or why this, or why that, or why this, and da-da. And again, the mind starts going off and telling stories. The ego's trying to control everything. The emotional body is getting all upset, and you're just going round and round, and it's all staying in the same frequency, these lower vibrational frequencies that the point of the twin came in to pull you out of. So we keep having this dichotomy that's going on this path. And it's this dichotomy, this literal back and forth within the self, that is keeping this path going in loops and going in loops and going in loops. Because we're not in that awareness, or we don't want to see it because the mind doesn't want to see it. The ego definitely doesn't want to hear it, because the ego has to lose control in order to allow the ascension process to take place. And the emotional body is attached to the physical aspect of the twin. And so when we have all of these programs running that are not us at all, these are all illusory dream world programs, they're not you, they're not your consciousness, then those are the programs that are actually keeping you in pain. And so, as I keep saying, this path is one of the most paradoxical paths that you can ever walk. And that's why it feels so confusing, right? That's why it feels so like, why can I not get this thing figured out based on the old programs that I'm used to running? Why do I have to do all the healing work and all the inner work and all the shadow work and all the da-da-da and all the da-da-da to earn the love of the physical masculine who is you? Like, why in the world would you have to do healing work, shadow work, inner work to attract the love that is already you? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if we want to get into a logical thing, that's one of the logical things that just doesn't make any sense. The twin is you. You share a soul. You are the same consciousness. You are the same vibrational blueprint. So assuming that you need to do inner work in order to love yourself enough in order for the twin to love you enough just doesn't make sense, right? What's going on is that you're running belief systems and attachments to experiences that you have had. And then you're placing identifications onto those experiences. And so since you have identified with those experiences, you keep running them over and over again because they have created an imprint in your subconscious programming. That subconscious programming is projecting out into your life and then creating the reality that you see. We are all master creators here. We have just forgotten how to use that power, right? That's the thing. And so the more you're running those programs, the more that you are just manifesting and creating unconsciously without even meaning to know what you're creating or why you're creating it or how you're creating it and why the same situations keep coming up over and over again. This is why. This is the reason why, right? So awakening, right? You've already done that. Look at it this way. You've already done that in however many past life and incarnations that you need to do it in order to get to this one, right? I talk a lot about this in my split soul twin flame versus twin flame video if you want to watch that. You've already done all those things, right? You've already graduated out of this lack and the separation and all of these things in your past lifetimes in order to incarnate in this lifetime as a twin flame, right? You incarnated in this lifetime as a twin flame because you're ready to awaken. That's it. You are ready to drop the programs. You were already ready, right? You were already ready. That's how you are awakening in this lifetime. And so to continue to sort of pull back, right, and allow your mind and your thoughts and your programming and all of these things continue to pull you backwards in a direction that you have already graduated from, it doesn't work like that, right? That's why this path feels difficult, because your ego and your mind and your emotional body is pulling you backwards. And the higher self, who is you, is pulling you up. This is what's happening. So there's a split going on, right? Because the awakening and the ascension has already been triggered. It's already been activated. It's already within you. It's already happening. But the ego and the mind and the emotional pain body is trying to stop it. This is why we feel so pulled in different directions. This is why we feel out of control on this path. This is why the ego continually tries to regain control on this path, because it feels like it can't. It feels like it's out of control, right? It can't control this. And so it's trying to regain control by using your thoughts, right? By using your mind, by using your emotions, by doing all of these things, trying to get back in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, the higher self, who is the higher aspect of you, is going, no, the ascension process has begun. The twin flame has come in to trigger your ascension process. The twin flame is you. The twin flame is not separate from you, right? The twin flame is pulling you out of those third dimensional programs, allowing this process to move forward, allowing yourself to awaken, to ascend, and to be the wayshower that you are here to be, is the way on this path. It's the only way on this path, right? All of these other dynamics are keeping you out of self-love. They're keeping you out of inner union. They're keeping you out of union with self, right? Union with self, inner love, self-love, true self-love, not like the trendy self-love or the stereotypical self-love. True self-love, when you come back into oneness with self, God, creation, all that is, and the remembrance that you are true, pure source consciousness, is the way on a twin flame path. It's the only way, right? So we can drag our feet and we can do all of these things, but that's what's perpetuating the pain that people are feeling. It's what perpetuating the, I just want to give up on this and do a soulmate, right? You can do that if you want. The thing is that sentence in itself is implying that if I can't be in romantic partnership with my twin flame physically, then I want to give up on this path. And so in order to console me, my ego, because that's where this is coming from, I'm just going to get with a soulmate, right? So the ego is automatically controlling it. The ego is automatically trying to convince you that not only is this only a physical romantic path that you're on, but that it can give up on that physical romantic path when it doesn't show up the way that the ego wants it to, and it can just go and have a different romantic partnership and act like it's all good and this never happened. This is the issue here. And everybody faces this, right? Everybody hits this at some point if you're on a twin flame journey, right? It's the fact that you're allowing your ego and your mind to control you and to have the upper hand and to think that it knows what this path is. Right? The biggest aspect, one of the biggest aspects on this path is surrendering the fact that you don't know what's going on. Right? This is the thing. This is what ego death elicits. This is the dark night of the soul. This is what happens, right? This is when we get into the trenches of, I really don't know what the fuck is going on, but I know something's going on, right? I know something that feels bigger than me is going on. I know that I can't ignore the experiences that I've had with my twin. I know that the experiences that I've had with my twin feel otherworldly in some way. I know that I can't act like this is all bullshit, even though my ego and my mind is trying to tell me that. I know something else is going on here. Right? I'm awakening. And I don't really know how that looks or what that feels like. Right? But I know that's what's going on. For some of us, you may remember from past lives what this feels like. And it may be an aha for you. Oh shit, now it makes sense. Oh yeah, right. Okay, cool, let's go with it. But for a lot of twin flames, this is going to be your first experience with this. And it's going to feel like, yeah, it's going to feel like you're out of control. It's going to feel like you don't get it. You don't understand, right? And this is where that surrender and that intuitive knowing and that trust comes online that, okay, wait, maybe I'm not all of these other things that I have been subscribing to all of my life. Maybe there is something bigger going on here. Maybe this is not just a physical romantic partnership with that person, right? Maybe this is awakening. You know, maybe I need to stop allowing my mind and my ego and my emotion to act like it knows what's going on this ascension path. Maybe I need to just surrender to the fact that I'm experiencing a whole bunch of stuff that I just straight up do not understand. And maybe I need to stop trying to understand it and just allow my higher self to guide this process. See, these are the dichotomies, the dichotomy that's going on here, right? The truth of the matter is that if you've gotten to this point in this incarnation and you are a true twin flame, it's time to wake up. Like, you've done a hell of a lot of work to get to this point, right? Embrace that. This is such an enormous gift. Like, I cannot say that enough in my videos, and I say it all the time. And I know it doesn't feel like a gift in the beginning, and I know it doesn't feel like a gift halfway through, and I know it probably doesn't feel like a gift if you're watching this. I know, I've been on this path for a long, long time. I understand. I truly, truly do. That's why I make videos like this that are just like cutting to the chase and cutting through the bullshit and just like, this is what it is. You know, this is what it is. And what a gift of what it is. It's an amazing thing, you know? Like, embrace the fact that you got here. You got here. You're rising in consciousness. You're coming back home to self. You're coming back into the awareness that you are a master creator. How awesome is that? It's an amazing, amazing thing. You know, let go of all of the things and all of the stereotypical shit that is saying that the twin flame dynamic is only romantic partnership and that's the whole point. It's not the point. It's not the point. I'm sorry, but it is not the point, right? And I'm in physical union with my twin, and I will sit here and tell you that it is not the point. It isn't. The point is your awakening. You did not go through all the shit that you've gone through in past lifetimes to incarnate in this lifetime to only be in a romantic partnership with someone. If that was the case, we'd be having like all of our normal romantic partnerships with karmics and soulmates and non-family members, right? There would be no point to have the twin flame come in. What would be the point of incarnating yourself twice just so you could be in a romantic, physical relationship with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if we want to get into the logistics and the logical mind, okay, how does that make sense? The reason that you incarnated twice, right? Once, twice, is to awaken you out of all of those things that are trying to convince you that this is supposed to be all of these things that are still based in the third dimensional lack and third dimensional programs and patterning and karmic relationships, and why is my twin not showing up, and they're an asshole, and fuck this whole thing, and I'm going to get out, and I'm just going to do this, and you know, all of that. Your mind has the upper hand. Your mind fully has the upper hand when it comes to all of those sort of things, right? Because either you're not on a twin flame path, which, let's just be honest, not everybody's on a twin flame path. That's fine. Or you're fighting this thing tooth and nail because you don't want to surrender to the fact that this is actually a true spiritual, full-blown awakening, and you are starting to ascend. You know, and it's normal to want to grip onto things that you are familiar with. The ego is going to do that. But at some point, if you are on a true twin flame path, then you are awakening, and you're going to have to let go, and you're going to have to trust the process. And for me, and for a lot of my clients, one of the biggest ways to do this is to come into that awareness that you busted your ass to get into this incarnation to awaken. You've gone through a whole bunch of other lifetimes to get here. And now you're a shining star. You are a wayshower. You are assisting the whole collective to rise in consciousness. You are part of the grand shift of moving out of the lower vibratory earth and moving into the higher vibratory new earth. Like, that's massive. You know, it's like, see that for who you are. You are pure source consciousness. You're love. We're all working together in tandem to do this as one consciousness, experiencing itself in billions of different ways. That's an amazing thing. Regardless of the fact of once you come back into inner union, it feels better than you've ever felt in your entire life, and you wonder why you were like holding on to all of that other stuff for so long, right? Once you jump timelines, which is what inner union will do, you're going to jump timelines. All of these other things that have been holding you down and keeping you suffering and in pain and looping, they're going to start to fade out because they're no longer going to be vibrating where you're vibrating. You're going to start vibrating higher on this path. Your frequency is going to rise on this path. And so these lower vibratory states that you've been resonating with for so long are just simply going to fade away organically and naturally as you continue to ascend and awaken on this path. But if we're constantly like getting all upset and pissed off because of whatever the twin is doing, then the twin, or the mirage of that, is pulling all of your energy and all of your attention and all of your focus outward into an external reality, right? And pulling all of your stuff somewhere else instead of bringing it back into you, right? This is what keeps us out of alignment. This is what keeps us out of balance. It's what keeps you away from you. And what I said in a lot of my videos, that love that you feel, right? That pull that you feel, that draw that you feel, that energy that you feel for your twin, that's you. One soul, two bodies, one energetic system, one consciousness. That's your energy. And instead of embracing your energy as energy, you keep throwing it out and you keep wondering why they're doing whatever the hell they're doing. And you keep worrying about what's ever going on external to you, forgetting the fact that you're creating that external reality every second of every moment of every day, right? Surrender to this path. Come back into the awareness of you are a wayshower. This path is so much bigger than we are talking about in regard to all of these, twin flame communities and twin flame videos and all of these things about romantic this and romantic that and fantasy this. And I have to go and do this thing with a soulmate because my twin flame is doing this. No, this is raising the collective frequency of consciousness. That's what you are. That's what you're a part of. It's what your twin is part of. Come back into that. Come back into inner union. Come back into love and the remembrance that you are that, right? That's when the twin shows up. That's when they're there, when you're back in love with yourself. It's not about being in love with anyone else. It's about being in love with self. That's what this path is. It's what it is. It's what it will always be, right? And that's what keeps most people spinning on it, is because they're looking for love in the twin, forgetting that love is them, forgetting that the twin is the same exact consciousness. There is no separation. We're just living in a reality that is showing us separation. But the twin is showing you that there is no separation, and to come out of the 3D constructs, go through the ascension, go through the awakening, come back into your higher vibratory states, which is who you are naturally as a light being, as pure source consciousness, and you will be free. That's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. You guys have an awesome day.